Whangarei, the gateway to New Zealand's Northland region. Home port to yachties from all over the world, abundant in natural wonders, and home to an iconic gallery. This is the base for the final round of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. The championship opened in Otago with a mighty battle between youngsters Jack Hawkswood and Robbie Stokes. Hawkswood narrowly taking the win, but at round 2 in Timaru, Hawkswood crashed. Stokes was second to Hayden Paddon to hold the points lead, but Ben Hunt was just 4 points behind. Round 3 in Southland saw Stokes have issues, which dropped his lead to 1 point over Ben Hunt. In the North Island, Hayden Paddon won again, closing the gap to Hunt, who inherited the lead after Stokes struck trouble. But a podium for Zeal Jones saw him ahead of Paddon in the race. Rally Bay of Plenty would prove decisive in the battle between Hunt and Paddon. Paddon took the win with Hunt second and Emma Gilmore third. So we go to the final with Hunt being able to win his third title by staying within 4 points of Hayden Paddon.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need to finish second everywhere, but obviously it'll make it a lot easier. I think, we can't worry about anyone else, just got to go do our own thing. And, Bay of Plenty Rally was a prime example. We rolled one off the bead in helicopter corner and, technically took our second place and a few extra points, which would have made it easier this time. But that's racing, and we can only do what we can do and worry about ourselves. And we'll just go out there and have fun. The roads are looking grouse, and I think it's going to be a bit of a tyre strategy this weekend, pretty hard on tyres.
Nothing we can do in the New Zealand Championship side. The cards are in Ben's hands, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, and we've just got to concentrate on what we can do, which is try and win the rally. So if we can try and do that's all we can do, and then it's all up to Ben after that. But hey, we've just got to enjoy it. Like, these are some of the best rally roads in the world, so any chance you can come and enjoy these, you take it.
It would be the absolute highlight if we can get onto that podium for the NZRC. It would be wonderful. It would be wonderful for all my partners that have stuck by me through some pretty trying seasons, and even just my part seasons when I've been overseas racing. So yeah, to get on the podium, that would be a wonderful way to finish the season.
So after Japan, I felt really more relieved knowing that we're going to Finland, so I feel like I don't have anything to prove. We've had a really good year so far, and we just need to stick to our plan like we always do and make sure that we focus on ourselves, because that's the only way we're going to get any faster. So we just got to do that, and then by the time we're at the end of the rally, we'll see where we are, and everything else will be a bonus. But obviously we have our goals set on that, but we've got to do one thing at a time first.
Lots of interest at the rally start, with the event also being the grand final of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship. Not surprisingly, 7 of the 11 entries in the APRC were double entered into the New Zealand Rally Championship, including the proton of Indian driver Naveen Puligala. League 1 would see 4 stages repeated, starting with Helena Bay, which would be the power stage in the afternoon. Stage 2, Akarama, with its popular spectator points, before a refuel, then through Crow's Nest and finishing the loop with Marlow. The day would end with 2 runs through the Pui Island Super Stage in Whangarei. The first 2 stages always provide a challenge on this event, with a combination of tight technical and fast slowing stuff. Hayden Paddon is a 9 times winner at Whangarei and must win here to be in with a chance to defend his NZRC title. But there's also a chance to be an APRC champion and become the first driver to claim 2 FIA regional championships in one season. A combination of dry, dusty roads and early morning fog definitely gave Paddon an advantage as he opened the stages, leaving a trail of dust behind.
And this is the other side of the coin. So often we talk about the disadvantage of sweeping the road. When conditions are dry like this and still early in the morning, that dust doesn't disperse as easily. A little bit of fog just to keep it down low. And Hayden's in the right place to be on the road this morning.
Ben Hunt took a conservative approach on stage 1 as he was unsure on tyre wear in these conditions. Most of the crews were running 2 spares as they know that tyre wear on the northern roads can be an issue.
And this rally's always the hardest one of the season on tyres. They're big, long loops, 4 stages in between services, and also moving the event from May to November. The ground temperature's up, it's drier. It's going to be a lot of hard work.
Hunt would finish stage 2, 41 seconds behind Paddon and in 3rd place. Zeal Jones made a great start, claiming 2nd place on stage 1, 7 seconds faster than Ben Hunt, but a slight error on stage 2 saw him stuck off the road.
Yeah, so we had a puncture that I didn't really know about. It was super hard to feel, and then obviously it happened very quickly, and we came into a short 6 left, and then we just understeered. We came around it, and then at the exit we just clipped about 30 centimetres off the bank, and then that was enough to push us into the full right, and then a little bit slowly down beach into a tree. So really no damage at all, just a wing mirror, but yeah, definitely a tough pill to swallow. It's more like swallowing a rock.
Robbie Stokes arrived in Whangarei with a virus, but still keen to do his best for the final rally of the season. He started well on stage 1, just a second behind Hunt.
5 left, cut. Brakes
Robbie's
high,
not
3
only
right,
fighting here for third in the championship, he's also defending the honour of the locally built AP4 cars. It's a slightly different concept, a little bit more power, but not as refined as those Rally 2 cars and R5 cars that we see factory developed out of Europe.
6 left over crest, into 5 right.
Stokes' time on stage 2 would see him leapfrog to second overall, just 1.4 seconds ahead of Hunt.
Brakes 3 left. Brakes.
Emma Gilmore had a half spin at stage 1, which cost her 30 seconds.
And that won't have been helped by carrying 2 spares like everyone is today. That 20 kilos of an extra wheel and tyre not only is 20 kilos to carry around, but it tends to sit a lot further back in the car, so it can really change the balance.
Left, and a short 4 left.
Hayden McKenzie back for the final round in the Toyota Yaris, but he struck bad dust when an APRC car in front was slowed and he caught him on the stage.
30.
Unfortunately, that car had gearbox issues. There is a system in place, push to pass,
I've done a push to pass.
that transmits through the rally safe. But both crews have got to work together to have that all working properly.
Dylan Thompson had switched to NZRC four-wheel drive as he'd already had the Class 2 title won after the previous rally.
It's a fantastic reward for Dylan. It'll be an interesting challenge. The car is a bit older and it doesn't have a lot of the suspension technology that we see in the newer generation cars. Just watch the way the car bounces over the cambers here, whereas those newer cars just absorb it.
A very strong showing by the end of stage 2, despite being caught in the dust of a slower APRC car.
And with the APRC field, they have to run in front. There's a safety gap between the 2 fields, but it can only be so long as too big a gap creates its own dangers. You can see that blue screen light up. That's the rally safe unit, and it's telling them that they can transmit a push to pass to the other car. That will light up blue in the other car.
Our feature stage of the morning is the famous railway junction at Crow's Nest. Most drivers had changed their 2 spare tyres to get better grip for the stage. Padden showing his skills here with perfect car placement.
And you can just see how much gravel he's shifting there. The wind's picked up a bit for this stage, so dust isn't going to be such an issue. He's probably lost that advantage.
Ben Hunt reclaimed second place when Robbie Stokes crashed in the stage and retired from the event.
And Ben's now in that position that he knows he needs to be. And with Zeal and Robbie striking trouble, 2 competitors who could really make life difficult for Ben, the pressure comes off a bit, but there's still 14 stages to get through.
Emma Gilmore having to dig deep here to move back up the results after the first 2 stages.
And spinning in the first few corners of the first stage is about the worst way to start. It really does knock that confidence. She'll rebuild.
Dylan Thompson had been given a 5-minute gap now as the first non-APRC driver. Dylan now 3rd overall after this stage.
And that's an amazing start. This car is old technology. It's a good, well-sorted car, but it's not the latest generation. If he can hold a result like this, that'll be spectacular.
Stuart Reid, the first of the 5 international drivers entered in the NZRC at this round. Reid's 6th overall for the morning.
And Stewie's confidence is growing in this car right across the season. He's really starting to get the grips of it, and what we might see out of him next year could be quite exciting.
Pierre-Henri Brunet is from Vanuatu, and his experienced Kiwi co-driver Mel Peden alongside.
This is another style of car again, the Proto with the Mitsubishi Evo running gear. It's probably a halfway house between the Dylan Thompson car and the new generation cars, the AP4 and R5 cars. It's also fantastic to welcome Pierre back from Vanuatu, one of 3 drivers we've seen in the championship this year from that country. Very different style of rallying in New Zealand. These beautiful flowing roads they just don't get at home.
Eugene Crunet in 8th for the morning, just 24 seconds adrift of Brunet.
And speaking of international visitors, Eugene and Philippe, they're pretty much the originals. They've been rallying in New Zealand since 2016, ironically in the car that Dylan Thompson is now campaigning. So after the morning loop of stages, Hayden Paddon with a lead of just over a minute. But check out that battle, Dylan Thompson in third, right through to Stuart Reid in sixth. Just 45 seconds between them. Pierre-Henri Brunet and Eugene Prunet round out the field.
It's obviously very loose out there, a lot of sweeping to do, especially with it being so dry, but hey, we're just keeping in the middle of the road, and okay, what everyone else is doing, that's up to them. It's a shame, obviously, Zeel and Robbie were both doing a very good job, and they were putting pressure on Ben, but anyway, it just falls further in Ben's favour, but hey, there's still a long way to go in this rally. Yeah,
Unfortunate for Robbie, looks like quite a big accident, and Zeel slid off and got beat, so I think he'll be back this afternoon, and yeah, we're having a good morning. We probably took it a little bit easy in the first stage, just not knowing what the tyre wear would be like, and tyres came out mint, so pushed on from there. But no, really enjoying the stages, cool feeling in the car.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad start to the first stage. We spun, really early on in the stage, and yeah, it was really tricky conditions that first stage. Very slippery surface, and then a bit of sunstrike and a bit of dust and fog, and yeah, it was really hard to get back into a rhythm. So happy to get out of there eventually, and then the last three stages have been pretty solid.
Next up, it's the NZRC Power Stage. Every point will count as we head to the Championship Showdown. Whangarei has been hosting the International Rally since 2007. The city has always been home to international yachts, and around the port you'll find cafes, the Clock Museum, and the last Hunterwasser building to be built in the world. The architect designed this building to be constructed on the site of the old Harbour Board building, which was used as rally headquarters for many years. Now it hosts a treasure of paintings by the Austrian artist who made Northland his home. And a big thanks to the people of Whangarei and the Northland districts who let us rally on their roads each year. Paddon had to win the stage to keep his championship hopes alive.
And you can see how hard he's pushing. There's 5 points up for grab for fastest time through here. 4 for second, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for fifth.
And Ben Hunt needed every point he could muster to defend his lead. In the end, Hunt was second on the stage to Paddon, with Zeel Jones rejoining here to claim a bonus 3 points. While Jones didn't have a lot to gain in the NZRC, this was important in his efforts to become Asia Pacific Junior Champion, as he was rejoining under Super Rally rules to continue in the APRC Rally. The cars returned to Hukarangi for refuel between stage 6 and 7, a chance to change tyres, sign some autographs and give back to this tiny town which hosts galleries, antique shops and even a tattoo shop. But the refuel is a carefully calculated exercise these days, as Hayden Paddon explains.
So we have one of our refuel zones here that we have along the route to make sure we have enough fuel to get around, and obviously we have fuel calculations to make sure that we can get through all the stages. So here we have a certain number that we need to put in the car, so the guys are topping it up, obviously using all the safety apparel while doing it on a remote location, and then this will get us through the service, and then we'll refill again at service. So it's all about keeping the right amount of fuel in the car for the weight of the car and not just always filling it up.
The action continued over the afternoon stages, with Emma Gilmore fighting back, overtaking Hayden McKenzie to claim 4th place, 23 seconds behind Dylan Thompson.
And take a look at this next section. The way the car puts the power down, the MRF tyres are really gripping up here.
By holding on to second place, Ben Hunt was also holding his advantage over Hayden Paddon in the fight for the NZRC title. But Paddon was in command of the APRC title fight. The APRC also has a trophy for the Rally 4 class, and Tim and Lauren Mackesy had entered their recently acquired Rally 4 Fiesta in both the APRC and the NZRC. They had a lucky escape when they hit a bank in the same spot as Zeel Jones and crashed on stage 2. Indian driver Naveen Puligula had bought this Proton to compete in APRC and registered for the NZRC at this event, one of 8 international drivers who have chosen to compete in the NZRC this season. Mackesy led the APRC two-wheel drive competition, but it was Bryn Jones who led the NZRC two-wheel drive through the morning, despite an engine misfire.
Mate, I think there was a little bit of a misfire with the car. Is that all sorted now?
Yeah, all sorted. Sean and I fixed that on the road section we did. So just sort of noticed on stage 1 that the car was lagging a little bit, and then on stage 2 it was being a bit of a pig. So, but yeah, all sorted. Yeah, boys did their magic as always. So yeah, let's go and send it.
Jack Stokes doing his best to stay in contact with Jones, but he was 48 seconds down when they arrived at first service.
And take nothing away from Jack, this is an older car. It really is a strong performance. Few whispers that we might see him in something a bit gruntier next year. Could be exciting. And his cause wasn't helped by a broken gear lever. You see the long stick on the left? That's the handbrake. The short little stub on the right, that's what's left of the gear lever.
Yeah, we got probably halfway through Akarama and then just went to downshift, and all of a sudden the gear lever went floppy, and I was like, oh no. So yeah, it basically snapped off halfway up, but luckily there was a little stub where I could change gears when I absolutely had to, but definitely not ideal. But got some vice grips out of the toolkit and yeah, kept going.
Jones won the power stage by 5 seconds over Stokes to take the bonus points and now held a commanding lead. Tim Mackesy was fastest on stage 6 to move to second.
5 left plus 30, 5 left minus, 4 right 30, 7 left 80.
But Stokes came back at him and by the end of the day was in second by 14 seconds. Not surprisingly, the Indian Proton team were outpaced by the Kiwi two-wheel drive cars.
And this is a big deal. He's only done 6 rallies in India. This is his first time overseas.
There was, of course, another battle of interest for Bryn Jones, one of family honour between himself and his dad and sister, who were campaigning in the historic class.
And while there's nothing officially on the table for that, it certainly helps with bragging rights across the Christmas dinner table. We see you too, Jonesy.
The normally reliable Mitsubishi of Mike Cameron broke down in the afternoon. That left Paul Fraser as the final finisher in the historics for day 1 in his escorts.
And with Mike Cameron failing to finish, means that Paul cannot be overhauled in the New Zealand Historic Championship.
Dave Strong held the lead in open two-wheel drive on Saturday, but his non-finish at round 1 meant that he was unlikely to take the title this season.
And Willie's definitely played the championship game, but here at Whangarei, he's closer to Dave than he's been all season. He's been a big improver across the year. Everyone's allowed a little mistake.
The locals had a chance to see the cars in competition up close on Saturday afternoon, with 2 runs through the Pubby Island Super Special stage. As always, this is not a stage where you can win the rally, but as Dylan Thompson discovered, if things go bad, it can be very costly. Thompson was sitting 3rd overall, but near the end of the first run, the car suffered a fuel surge.
Right, opens, 60. Centre jump, 60. 2 right, into. What did I just do? Huh? I just died.
With low fuel level, Thompson was forced to crawl through the stage and lost his 3rd position to Emma Gilmore, but he did make it to the Motor 10 Park Whangarei.
So after the first day of Rally Whangarei, Hayden Padden with a commanding lead over Ben Hunt, who's looking good for that championship. Emma Gilmore just overhauling Dylan Thompson. Hayden McKenzie in 5th ahead of Stewie Reid, Pierre-Henri Brunet and Eugene Prunet. In the NZRC two-wheel drive standings, Bryn Jones, a fantastic display to sit just over 2 minutes ahead of Jack Stokes. Tim Mackesy sitting 3rd ahead of Naveen Puligala. open two-wheel drive blows wide open when Willie Hawes went the wrong way on the Poe Island Super Special stage, meant he didn't complete the stage and got a 7-minute time penalty. And in the historics, Anthony Jones well ahead of Paul Fraser, but with that DNF for Mike Cameron, Fraser confirmed as the champion with a day to go.
Yeah, tricky day. Obviously, it's always very tough here, managing tyres on pretty abrasive roads. So it's been a real management thing this afternoon, but we got through with no problems, and yeah, obviously another day to go.
Yeah, it was. We sort of just stuck to doing our own thing, really, and it was a day of attrition out there. So very happy to not be part of that. And aside from our spin, 1 kilometre into the first stage, yeah, we had a really good day. So it was a lot of fun. Stages were amazing. Yeah, really enjoyed it, and we get to do it all again tomorrow.
Coming up, the Rally Challenge titles are decided on day 1 stages. We go underground at an iconic WRC stage on day 2. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Final round, Rally of Whangarei. This was also the final round of the Rally Challenge, and after missing Rally Bay of Plenty, Andrew Graves was back in his Evo 3 Mitsubishi.
Well, the roads are outstanding. They always are. It's really good to be here on the driver's side of the car this time. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Graves didn't take long to establish his lead in the challenge, winning all 4 of the morning stages.
Not only that, he was leading the Group A challenge for the older four-wheel drive cars. Remember, this car is nearly 30 years old.
Previous round winner Caleb McDonald was in second place, but a mere 14 seconds separated second to fourth by stage 3, so he was under pressure.
And this car certainly got some history in the championship. In 2001, Deborah Kibble became the only female to win a New Zealand Rally Championship when she became Group N champion. It then won the Rally Challenge twice with Darren Galbraith, and now Caleb's adding to that history.
Jay Pittams was in third in his classic Subaru Impreza, but it briefly dropped to fourth behind Gavin Feast here before getting back to third at the morning service.
It's a great battle between mates, both Subaru drivers from the Bay of Plenty. Jay, fantastic performance in the older car, again part of that Group A challenge. And Gavin in his rookie season is really coming on strong.
Fifth place for Carter Strang, the Evo 10. It was great to see James McDonald's car looking straight at the rally start. He'd badly damaged the car at Rally Bay of Plenty when he rolled.
And it was a huge effort from the Canterbury rallying community to get this car straight again after this.
Before we even got it back to where we're staying in Bay of Plenty, I mean, we had messages through and they said, get it down south, bring it in, we'll have it apart as soon as you get it in, and we'll just get straight into it. So, I mean, hats off to them, really.
McDonald was holding 6th by service ahead of the Subaru of Julian Longley. It was also a welcome return to our title sponsor, Brian Green. Over the afternoon stages, the focus now turned to the Rally Challenge points. Andrew Graves just had to finish in the top 3 to take the title.
3, 2, 1, go. What was that?
Gearbox.
Caleb McDonald retires after stage 5 with a broken gearbox, leaving the door open to Carter Strang to take second in the challenge. He was 4th after the 4 stages, with only the super stage left to run. Jay Pittams held second through the afternoon, a fantastic performance.
And that look and that sound on these roads brings back so many memories of the WRC days in the mid-90s.
Gavin Feast had a battle with Strang right to the end of the day. In fact, it was only at the final run through the Poe Island Super Stage that Strang finally pipped him for third, enough to take second in the challenge for 2024. James McDonald's 5th place, enough to earn him the final spot in the Group A challenge.
So confirming those results, Andrew Graves with the win ahead of Jay Pittams, but check out that battle between Pittams, Strang and Feast, 2nd to 4th. James McDonald with a confidence rebuilding 5th ahead of Julian Longley and Brian Green. And rounding out the points for the year, Andrew Graves takes a great victory over Carter Strang and James McDonald in third. Jay Pittams just misses out in fourth. And what about poor old Caleb McDonald sliding from second to fifth, ahead of Gavin Feast, Julian Longley and Paul Cross.
It's something we've been striving for, and everything's just come together, and we've had a bit of bad luck at Timaru, but we got around that, and yes, really pleased to be here. And big thanks to Hayden and my team. Without them, couldn't have done it. So yeah, it's really cool to compete in this rally, which is awesome, and yeah, it's good to get the result.
The Rally Challenge two-wheel drive has been a bit like the tortoise and the hare in 2024. Jared Parker showing outstanding speed in his Corolla, but suffering breakages which have slowed him.
And Jared's story is one that really shows how accessible the New Zealand Rally Championship can be. It's not the latest and flashiest gear, but he's on the verge of back-to-back Rally Challenge two-wheel drive titles.
Just going to cool it down, we're overheating the brakes.
Okay. 7 left, blip 5 right plus. Repeat, 7 left, blip 5 right plus.
Pat Norris in the 1300cc Yaris was never going to match the pace of the Corolla, but despite a DNF at the round 4 and round 5, his consistent second place finishing has kept the challenge open to the end. Adding to the interest here, Kyle Percival had entered in a Mark II Escort and had beaten Parker twice over the day's stages.
And we've seen this car and Kyle already. He was co-driving for grandfather Murray in the open two-wheel drive class, but for Whangarei, he kicked out granddad and said, "Give me the keys."
Parker held his nerve and steadily increased his lead to take the day win and his second Rally Challenge two-wheel drive title.
4 left half long, blip 5 right tightens. 5 left minus, 5 right tightens. Repeat, 5 left minus, 5 right tightens.
Honestly, you know, coming up here, last couple of rounds have been tough. You know, we haven't had an easy road coming here with mechanical failures, but you know, today just kind of fell together, and man, what a day. The Whangarei roads are just fantastic, really abrasive, but our Zestino tyres held up magnificently.
So confirming Jared Parker is the round winner over Kyle Percival, Pat Norris with a few issues comes home third. And in those final point standings, Jared Parker, the champion again in 2024, over Pat Norris and Darren Galbraith.
Coming up, it's the closest battle for the NZRC title in years, and it's down to the wire on the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. The Day 2 stages are south of Whangarei, starting with Otuhi, which will run in reverse direction this year. The Waiatora stage will run 3 times over the day, and the final stage of each section will be the famous Waipu Caves Road. The road runs through a limestone valley and is famous for its caves, and you can experience the world underground at Waipu Caves Farm Park. Of course, the caves are home to glowworms who light up when the lights go out, and once you've explored the underground, then there's the magnificent New Zealand bush and spectacular rock formations for the adventurous to explore. Perfect conditions in the morning at stage 11. The drivers will battle for Day 2 points as well as the overall rally. Hayden Paddon had the 7 points from Day 1 and the 5 points from the power stage already in the bag, but there are another 7 points today and 25 for the overall rally win.
And adding to the challenge of Day 2 is these roads are totally different again in nature. The roads are wider and there's a lot more camber on these stages south of Whangarei as opposed to the northern stages on Saturday.
Flat right crest, 150. Early
Just check that out.
Ben Hunt's best hope of winning his third NZRC title lies with staying second on Day 2 and overall. But Dylan Thompson was here to spoil the party. In the older Subaru, which was owned by Hunt, the New Zealand two-wheel drive champion was outstanding and lay second for the day after the opening stage.
And after just losing that third position overnight, less than half a second, he's absolutely motivated to come out here, make a statement and make that third place his.
Flat 7 left over crest, 150. Flat centre brow.
Emma Gilmore had edged ahead of Thompson at the end of day one, but now dropped to 4th after this stage overall.
And for Emma, she's balancing a couple of things. She'd love a rally podium, but she's got 3rd in the championship to worry about here, and she doesn't want to throw that away.
And 5th is Zeal Jones in the day 2 standings. But it was incredibly close on the stage. Jones just 1 second ahead of Gilmore and 4 seconds behind Hunt. Hayden McKenzie just 2 seconds back in 5th, finding his feet after a break from the championship. And Aussie driver Stuart Reid less than 2 seconds behind in 6th. Pierre-Henri Brunet just a few seconds down at the split here, but his rally was about to end.
Just watch what happens when he gets outside the camber. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thankfully, the guys were okay. It's a big accident.
That left Eugene Crunet as the final competitor in Class 1 for the day. Due to a late issue with another stage, the organisers chose to run Special Stage 12 Waiatora twice as Stage 13, with a short break in between. It gives us a unique chance to see what happens on a stage when it is run a second time.
And now we see him second time through here. Just watch how much more of the road he uses. You hear the car actually bottom out there. And look how wide he is on the exit here. All that adds up to a time 22 seconds faster in 14 kilometres.
Also an opportunity for Ben Hunt to get back to second for the day, with the superior handling of the WRC2 car coming to the fore on this road.
And we go on board for the same section of road second time through.
Opens wide in junction, fastest 400.
Again, you hear that bottoming out, and a lot more aggressive as they attack that off-camber junction. Ben, 23 seconds faster than his first run.
Fair to say that Dylan Thompson was driving this car beyond expectation and possibly beyond the limits of the suspension travel.
Into 6 right minus, close into 5 left, open 6 minus, into 6 right, 120. And 6 right minus.
The Gilmore, another NZRC podium, would cap off what has been a turnaround in the second half of the season. But she was also entered the APRC and currently 3rd overall in that, so not wanting to take unnecessary risks.
And it's been so great to see Emma back to where we know she can be. Of course, start of the season she was still recovering from that horrific extreme accident and the concussion that came with it. Now she's learnt the car, she's got a good solid co-driver partnership with her with Malcolm Reed, and she is on the pace.
Zeal Jones had also been ahead of Gilmore on stage 12, but a broken drive shaft on the next stage put an early end to his season.
And that was a real shame, but it's been a fantastic season for Zeal, and he became the New Zealand Junior Rally Champion in 2024. And it hasn't finished yet. He's still got the final shootout of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Rally Challenge in Finland to round out the season.
Hayden McKenzie having a close battle just behind Gilmore for 5th place with Stuart Reid.
Bridge, 5 left.
It's certainly been an encouraging return to the championship for Hayden.
6 right minus, into 5 left opens, max, 6 right.
Unfortunately, a broken drive belt on stage 14 put an early end to the rally for Hayden and co-driver Kieran Anstis.
Tyre, 5 left, tighten. Something's broken. Okay, let's just get through. 5 left, tighten for then opens.
Oh, now steering's gone. Right, engine temp, no, we're
done a belt.
Yep.
It's a rough way to finish the season.
So Stuart Reid 5th for day 2 and 5th overall for the rally.
And it's been a fantastic way to finish the season for Stu, his first in these new generation cars. He's done so much rallying, but he's almost got to rewrite everything he's learned in his memory, and it's great to see him looking comfortable with the Mirage.
With those retirements, Eugene Crunet now 6th overall.
And it's fantastic to have had Eugene and Philippe back in New Zealand doing their rallying again. They missed a couple of rounds with some of the civil unrest in New Caledonia. It's fantastic to welcome them back. They're always smiling and a great addition to our championship.
Bryn Jones had continued his strong performance in Class 2 in the Ford Rally 4, fastest in all but 2 of the stages on Sunday.
Yeah, that was tight. Right over 100, 5 left over bridge, don't 250.
Maybe a bit of fast on the next line, not a flat.
How the did you hold on to that one, Tej?
Jack Stokes was able to beat Jones in his older R2 Ford on the 2 runnings of the Otui stage. Tim Mackesy also finding good pace on day 2 as he gets to grips with the Rally 4 Ford. From stage 13 to 18, he was on average just 4.3 seconds slower than Jones. He also claimed the FIA Pacific Trophy for Rally 4 class. He had easily beaten the Proton of Indian driver Naveen Puligula and also a Japanese-entered Rally 4 Ford. But in the end, it was Bryn Jones who drove a faultless rally to take Class 2. After a season which has seen some disappointing results, it puts him in a good position to challenge in 2025.
Long 6 right cut over finish, 150. Yes, Bryn, let's do this, buddy. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah, buddy! Woo-hoo!
Yes.
Whangarei winners, baby! Get in there!
So a coming-of-age drive sees Bryn Jones take the win, but Jack Stokes has really kept him honest through day 2. Tim Mackesy a solid 3rd ahead of Naveen Puligula. But confirming it was Dylan Thompson who'd wrapped up the points battle before this event started. He leads home Jack Stokes. Bryn Jones jumps Tim Mackesy by just 1 point for 3rd. The open 2-wheel drive battle goes right down to the last stage. Dave Strong taking the rally win. But 2nd place was enough to make Willie Hawes the champion in his debut season. Similarly, 2nd place for Paul Fraser in the Historics was enough for him to be crowned 2024 champion. Although the rally win would go to Anthony Jones. So confirming those results, Strong ahead of Hawes. And Jones leading home Fraser with the unfortunate DNF for Mike Cameron. And for the year, Willie Hawes beating Dave Strong and Murray Percival in 3rd. And in the Historics, Paul Fraser takes the win, although Helen Cameron is crowned the co-drivers champion.
Over the final 3 stages, Emma Gilmore and Dylan Thompson were very close for that final podium position. Thompson held a slim 10-second advantage going into the afternoon stages, but Thompson managed to stay his course, keeping the advantage and taking 3rd position for the rally and day 2. That all-important 3rd in the APRC for Emma to go with her runner-up in 2009.
And it really is a fantastic result for both drivers to have Dylan on the podium in the older car really stand out. And for Emma, a 3rd in the APRC, 3rd in the championship, that's a great confidence build heading into 2025.
Well done, team. Welcome back to the podium, Emma, Malk. Awesome to see you. How's the rally been so far?
Oh, it was awesome. We had an amazing weekend, lots of fun together. A bit sad that Malcolm's jumping out of the car, but yeah, no, it's been a great weekend.
There was still a New Zealand title up for grabs. Hayden Paddon is the defending champion, but he missed round 1, handing an advantage first to Robbie Stokes, and then as the season progressed to Skoda driver Ben Hunt. A win here at Whangarei would be enough to crown him APRC champion and European Rally champion in the same season.
Max 5 plus closes into slot.
2 championships, 2 regional championships, APRC champion and also European champion. Commiserations on the New Zealand championship, but how do you feel, mate?
It's been a good weekend. We've done a great, good season in terms of we've done all we can for the New Zealand Championship, winning all the rallies and power stages. But hey, to win the Asia Pacific and to win the rally for the 10th time is awesome. Huge credit to the team. The car's run faultlessly for many years here now, which makes my job easy. And obviously Jared's been doing an awesome job as well. So all in all, good weekend, and obviously big congratulations to Ben. At the end of the day, he was the consistent one throughout the year, and consistency is what wins championships.
But the New Zealand champions for 2024 would be Ben Hunt and Tony Ralston. Hunt held his nerve and paced himself throughout the afternoon with no mistakes to claim second on the rally, enough to take the title.
And Ben's constructed the perfect season. He knew what he needs to do, and he joins Tony Teasdale, Neil Allport and Joe McAndrew as 3-time New Zealand Rally champions.
Noise. Well done, mate. Thank you. That'd be awesome.
Hey, Benny boy, congratulations, mate. New Zealand Rally champion. I can't believe it, mate. It's freaking awesome. How do you feel?
Oh, mate, I was just saying to Tony before, 2019 we won it last time. We didn't actually get to finish the last rally, so to actually be here at the end is bloody awesome. And, you know, probably the first one in 15 didn't really soak in until later that night, so I think we're going to stand on the roof. I'm going to try to anyway with my back.
I want to see you stand on the roof, mate. Well done, mate. I know you've got a lot of people to thank, but yeah, pull on out of control and we'll see you on the roof.
Cheers, mate.
So confirming the rally results, and it's Padden with another dominant win over Hunt. Thompson a fantastic drive to third, just pipping Emma Gilmore ahead of Stuart Reid and Eugene Crunet.
It was absolutely awesome. After last night at Powie Island, losing the 23 seconds that we had, I think it was, we thought it was all over, and we come out this morning swinging and just gave it absolutely everything that we could. And yeah, the last stage, we just put everything on the table and it paid off.
Confirming our champions by just 4 points, Ben Hunt and Tony Ralston over Hayden Padden and Jared Hudson. Emma Gilmore third, but Baden Thompson takes the co-driver's third place. Dylan Thompson fourth and the two-wheel drive champion, and Zeal Jones does claim the prestigious junior rally champion title. It's been a great season as we went from Otago to Southland, South Canterbury to Manawatu, the Bay of Plenty to Northland, and we'll do it all again in 2025 on the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship.
Take that.
Carry on. No.
Red. Four, right?
Ding 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 bing 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 and ba 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 ba.
Well done. Yes. So proud of you. Oh.
Oh, yeah.